Hey guys, Dasha the Period Coach here today to tell you about creating a Kickstarter in flow. So I've been working on a Kickstarter for the last few months and I've been launching a summit, so it's not like the only thing I've been doing. I've been really busy with the summit, but I wanted to launch this Kickstarter right after the summit, so I started working on it a few months ago and I really intentionally knew that I would only have a limited amount of time to focus on it, so I needed to make the best use of my time. So I really did this in flow. So I'm going to give you a few of the things that I did to create this Kickstarter in each of the 4 phases of my cycle so that you can kind of get an idea of how a big project can get done in little bits of time in flow. Little. This is the 2 weeks to 1 week before your menstrual phase, so before your period. It's after ovulation, before menstruation. It's generally 2 weeks, give or take a few days for most women in that 28 to 30 day cycle. This is a really good time for getting really in touch with what is the outcome that you want? What is the thing that you want? So I spent a lot of time during this phase going, what is the big picture of my book? What is my most outrageous result? If my book went out and women around the world read this and started actually changing their perspective on their period and seeing more and more what's really going on, how would that affect the world? So I really got super into it so that when I started writing my Kickstarter video and the copy for it, I was really into what could happen if this works, if this goes really well and gets funded. It was really exciting. It was a really great way to tune in and tap in. I recorded myself audio as I was out about walking in the jacuzzi, just letting my mind mull over this. And I have some journal entries and diary, getting it out of my head wherever I could and onto paper so that as I was going through, in my follicular phase, as I was going through to write, I could tap back into what I had written in that passion and dreaming time of Luteal. So then in menstrual, this is your why question time. So I was really asking myself, why does this need to get out there? Why do women need to read it? At the basic core, it solves the problem of us as women not truly being on our own side and trying to be something that everyone else wants us to be. But we have these archetypes that are put upon us and what the world would look like if women could just be really rad with being a woman. That why was really important to me. I came up with some really incredible, I think, just visuals, ideas, things floated through my mind that were really important that I really wanted to bring into this Kickstarter. So that was in there. So then during follicular and ovulation, those two really will go hand in hand in the building part of this. I did a lot of the data stuff. So when you go into Kickstarter, you have to set up your bank accounts. Things take a couple of days, maybe a week to process, and then you have to go back and do another thing, and then it takes time again, and you have to go back and do another thing. So I did a lot of that during my follicular phase when it was just easy to keep track of what was going on where and just doing the logical, like, okay, connect this account to that, and this and that and the other. I also took a lot of the juicy stuff that I had written during that luteal and menstrual phase and started filtering it and putting it into structure and creating that. What's the video going to say? How's the Kickstarter information going to flow? And just started putting all of these little bits and pieces into a script for the video, onto the Kickstarter page itself. I did all of the reward levels and everything during my follicular phase. I did think about them a lot though during luteal and menstrual. So again, creating during those 2 phases and implementing during the follicular and ovulation phase. So that's my spiel on creating a Kickstarter in flow. Thank you so much for watching and go donate to my Kickstarter. Link is below.